not even 25 years old, and the guy says, yeah, why don't you manage the Olympic project? So I'm Seth Hansen. I started at Daktronics in 1983. So I started in customer service, then I went to engineering, then I went to project management, and then in project management, a variety of different voting systems, sports, Olympics, sports. So one of my classmates had started here earlier, maybe during the school year, and he and I were talking about it, and he said, well, why don't you come on out and check it out? So I did, came out, interviewed with Ed Winiger, and I was hired and went into the repair bench right away. I graduated in 1985, so it would have been sometime in 1985. I interviewed with Jim Morgan and with Al. And Al's interviewing is, let's go have a cup of coffee. So we went to the Starlight, had a cup of coffee, and we just had good conversation, and he talked about all the different opportunities that he envisioned for Daktronics and how I could be a part of that. I'd done some software modifications in engineering for our Omnisport controller, so we modified it for judging events. And at the time, Al and Jim Morgan had just done the contract for the Calgary Olympics. And so I got involved with that, just kind of as supporting the equipment. And then Jim Anderson had been assigned to be the project manager, and I just remember going up to Calgary one time, and Jim said, why don't you just run with this? Just take this project. I'm happy to step away. And I did, and spent the better part of 2 years in Calgary. I actually took my final exam for like a math class for my master's degree. It was would have been December of '86 is when I graduated. I took the final exam from Calgary because the teacher allowed, he faxed the test to me. I sat in the basement, finished the test, and I faxed it back to him. Because I was basically in Calgary for most of that semester. I've been into 33 state capitals, plus the United Nations. And so probably the most interesting one was the United Nations. Walking underground at I think they call it the Secretariat building, that great big tall, looks like a deck of cards standing on the end, right on the Hudson River. I spent a lot of time in the bowels of that building. Eating in the cafeteria with delegates from around the world, just kind of sitting across the table from somebody from Africa. It's kind of a neat deal. So yeah, to say I could envision that I've been to all these places, it was hard for me to imagine that, but Al had a vision of that already. He'd said, yeah, we're going to do these things, and it's not just in the United States. This is all around the world where we're going to be doing this work. And so the fact that happened and I was able to be a part of that was kind of neat.